Hi everyone, welcome to our lesson. In today's lesson, we shall discuss how to solve simultaneous equations. What are simultaneous equations? Simultaneous equations are equations with two variables that we need to solve. We have equation 1 and equation 2 at our level. In future, you shall study about solving simultaneous equations with even three variables, but in this case we shall study how to solve simultaneous equation with two variables, and with us is a simultaneous equation. As you can see, we have our first equation being 2x plus 3y equals 8, and our second equation is 3x plus 4y equals 11. Now, how do we solve this equation? Thank you so much for asking such a question. I'm very happy that you ask. And by the way, this simultaneous equation will be tested in your exams, and I believe that for the coming exams, not once, not twice, this question will feature. So this is a very important lesson. So I ask you to pay attention, grab your notebook and your pen, and let us dive in together. Now, how can we solve this simultaneous equation? We can use various methods that have been discussed in previous lessons. We can use methods such as elimination method. We can also use another very important method of solving simultaneous equation known as substitution method. And finally, we can also use another method of solving a simultaneous equation, which deals with the use of graphs. Of course, these are not the only methods we can use to solve a simultaneous equation. There are some more, but at our level, these are the methods that we shall that are examinable, and therefore we shall discuss the three of them. Meanwhile, in this example here, I want us to discuss one of them, which happens to be elimination method. So, in elimination method, we shall be trying to eliminate one of the variables. As we said, we have two variables. We have our simultaneous equations here. We have our first simultaneous equation being 2x plus 3y equals 8. That's our first equation. Our second equation is 3x plus 4y equals 11. Now, I want us to, you can eliminate any variable, but let us eliminate x. Now, how do we eliminate x? I want to write the variables of x in green color so that you may understand what I'm saying. So we have 2x plus 3y equals 8. That's our first equation. And our second equation happens to be 3x plus 4y equals 11. So you can see the variables of x are written in green because I want us to eliminate x in this example. Remember, you can also eliminate y if you want. You are not limited, but the same principles apply. If you, in case you choose to eliminate y, the same applies. So there's no difference for those of you who would want to eliminate y instead of x. So now, because we have chosen to eliminate x, what do? We operate some multiplications, and it is very important for you to know that we shall multiply the first equation by the coefficient figure of x of the second equation. So we shall multiply the first equation by 3, and the second equation we shall multiply by the coefficient figure of x of the first equation, which happens to be 2. Are we together? I hope we are together. Let me show you what I'm saying. We have our simultaneous equations there. So what I mean by the statement is, you see, the coefficient figure of x of the second equation is 3, and the coefficient figure of x of the first equation is 2. So we shall multiply the first equation by 3 and the second equation by 2. Why? Because we want to have common coefficient figure of x in both equations. This is what I mean. When you open the bracket, remember I taught you how to open the bracket in the previous lesson, in one of the previous lessons. So that will be our first equation. When we open the bracket, we shall have 6x plus 9y equals 24. And then when we multiply by 2, we shall get 6x plus 8y equals 24. These are the two equations now. Here, I want you to observe the two equations and tell me something. What do you think has happened to the coefficient figures of x in both cases? What do you notice about the coefficients figure of x in both cases, in both equations? What can you see? What do you think? It is crystal clear. You can see the coefficients are now common. We have 6x in first equation and 6x in the second equation. So the purpose of doing this is making it simple for us to eliminate x. Remember, we are eliminating x. And in case you would want to eliminate y, you are not limited. You just follow the same steps, the same procedure, you'll get there. All right? Now, I have a question for you. I want you to think deeply and tell me, now that we have the coefficient figure of x in both the equations being equal, what do you think we should do to make them 0? We have 6x plus 9y equals 24 for the first equation, and for the second equation we have 6x plus 8y equals 22. What do you think we should do to make x 0? Or in other words, what do you think we should do to completely eliminate x? Think and tell me. Good. Most of you already got it. We just need to subtract the entire just need to subtract the second equation from the first equation. Can I show you? Well, our first equation happens to be 6x minus 9y. 6x plus 9y equals 24, and the second one we shall have to subtract. Can you see how I introduced the parenthesis? Because we shall distribute this negative all the way to what is enclosed. You can see. So the second equation will be subtracted from the first equation. And the purpose of this is to make the x go away. In other words, to eliminate x. That's why the method is known as elimination method. Now, I want you to tell me, what is 6x minus 6x? Good, 0. Now, what do you think is 9y minus 8y? That's just y. So we had y. Now tell me, what is 24 minus 22? What is 24 minus 22? Good, you have it. So we have successfully eliminated x because our x is 0. Now we are remaining with y equals 2. Let me just show you once more. We have 0 plus y equals 2. So because we have 0, we don't have to include it in our sum. So that's why we have y being equal to 2. And we have successfully solved for y. Now, would you want to know how to solve for x? Let us dig deeper. Now, to solve for x, we have to remember the first equation. Remember, you can take either the first equation or the second equation, whichever you want. The choice is yours. You are not limited. If you choose the first equation, the same will be done even for the case of if you would have picked the second equation. Let us see now what you do. I hope you remember this equation, 2x plus 3y equals 8. This was our first equation. Here it is. So what we do is we put 2. Remember, we found out that the value of x is the value of y, we found out that the value of y is 2. So we shall put 2 wherever we have y. So we shall be putting 2 in place of y. Good, because we found out that y is equal to 2. As simple as that. Now let us see. Here we go. We have 2x plus 3. This is our first equation now. Now, what do you think we should put there instead of y? Good. We should enclose 2 in brackets and write everything as it is, which happens to be equal to 8. That was our first equation. I hope you are getting it, guys. In case you are getting it, I like it, but supposing you don't get it right away, you can of course consult. You can post the video. If I'm very fast, you can as well replay the video. You are not limited. So this is the equation after opening the bracket. We have 2x plus 6 equals 8. Now remember, we want to find the value of x. So we take 6 to the other side. We subtract 6 both sides. And we do so by taking 6 to the other side. I believe we will agree with me that we said during one of the previous lessons when we are dealing with the correction of like terms, when you take a number to the other side, you changes the sign. So we shall have our 2x being equal to 8 minus 6, because 6 is positive on the other side. So when 6 goes to the other side, it becomes negative. So we shall have 2x minus, we shall have 2x being equal to 8 minus 6. So you already know what is 8 minus 6. True or false? So we shall say 2x equals 2. And therefore, if we have 2x being equal to 2, we can divide 2 in both sides so that we may remain with 1x, of which we are seeking. So we shall say divide by 2, both sides. And when we do so, we shall have our x as 1. That is it, guys. So we have now our x, and our x is 1. Now, do you remember what we found out about y? We said that y is 2. So our final answer is x equals 1 and y equals 2. I hope you understood this, guys. In case you did not understand, it is well. You can watch the video again as many times as possible. You can consult your teacher. You can ask me question in person if you can reach me, of course, or you can send me your concerns online. Because remember, we conduct the online classes on weekly basis. So if you want to see more examples, you can join us in our online classes. I will share the link to our online classes, which happens to be on a weekly basis. We have our class team, so you can go to your browser, check Microsoft Teams, and you can ask me to send you a link of our online class. You just have to find somewhere comfortable, your table, you sit down, you take your notebooks, you take your laptop if you have one, and if you don't have a laptop, you can take your iPad or mobile phone. Of course, you need a network, and by so doing, you shall join our class from anywhere. And you can access our content from anywhere. Thank you guys for attending the class. Till we meet again, it has been your teacher, Mwalimu Danieli. Thank you.